Hello, lovely souls. Welcome to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot, and I'm back with another reading. So it's been a couple days, and I have been moving through the intense shifts that happen every single day on this journey, and particularly in the last 60 days or so, 90 days. We've really seen, like, the second half of this year, just the twists and turns in this journey are something to be seen and something to be witnessed and something to be felt and experienced. So I hope you all are doing well. If you're new to the channel, please do have a look around. I'm an intuitive, I'm a psychic, and I am here. I am a twin soul, I'm a light worker, starseed, and I'm here to deliver messages and guidance to the collective. This is my calling and my mission and my purpose at this point in time. Now, for those of you wondering if I offer private readings, I do not offer private readings anymore. If I will in the future, who knows, that's something to be considered. But for the time being, I do not offer private readings, but I do offer a group coaching program. We are in the midst of one right now, and we will have a second one in spring of 2022. It's a 6-month coaching program. And also, I've teamed up with Holly, the Twin Flame Healer, and we're offering private sessions. It's 3 coaching sessions with both Holly and myself, with 2 coaches, 2 healers, 2 guides. And it's 3 one-hour sessions. It's for a limited amount of people, and we're going to be doing this in waves. So if you're interested, definitely reach out at the email listed below. It's going to be lunargoddesstarotofficial@gmail.com. You can also reach me at sarahspeaks79@gmail.com. I'll try to remember to list both of those below. And you can get on the list, and your payment will secure your spot. We are filling up quite quickly here. We've opened this up first to the people in the program, and now we're offering it up to people in the general collective as well. So you'll know if you're being called to do this, and I'll follow up with an email and I'll tell you all about what we're offering. But it is a mini personal course, and it's designed, you're going to have action steps to take, as well as receiving the healing from both of us. It's a very, very powerful session. We have over 30 years combined healing experience under our belt. So I really want to stress that you're going to get much more healing and answers and clarity in our sessions together than you would from a card reading. The cards are just a tool. It's a divination tool, but the readings are what's going to really propel you forward, especially if you're struggling, if you're in longing, if you can't seem to move forward, and if you're wondering, how do I reach inner union? So reach out to us if you're interested in those individual personal healing sessions. Now, we're going to look into the energies of today. So as we move into this weekend and we move towards this Pisces full moon, which I believe is on the 20th, so 4 days away, a full moon in the sign of Pisces, a water sign. Pisces is the sign of the fish. Usually you'll see the fish moving in opposite directions. So one will be moving, let's say, north, one's moving south, one's moving upstream, one's moving downstream. So what's happening right now is a bit of tug of war emotionally for a lot of you. I'm seeing this in my group. I'm seeing this in the collective. And I'm seeing this, I'm feeling this from the collective. And I'm picking this up in particular from the divine feminine. So the divine masculines are sort of quiet at this time. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know that I am a divine masculine channeler. And if you're new, you'll soon find out that I am a channeler for the divine masculine energy, because I do carry a lot of that energy within. But I am a divine feminine. And they're quiet at this time. They're healing. They're literally putting their heads down and doing what needs to be done. A lot of feminines have spoken their truth recently to the masculines, and what the sun has done is opened the door and opened their hearts. It literally blasted the light in. So only the feminine can do that for the masculine, okay? There's no one else on earth that could do that for the masculine other than the feminine. So that is the power that you have over your twin. That's the power that the feminine energy has, is I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm going to say it no holds barred, and I'm not going to hold back. And your twin will transform right before your eyes. Do not be afraid to speak your truth on this journey. And this comes from experience. I was afraid to speak it for a long time. When I finally spoke it is when things shifted majorly in my connection. And then when I finally spoke it a second time, about a year and a half later, that's when things shifted majorly again. So things happen energetically, okay? But sometimes the words need to be spoken in order for the counterpart to hear, especially the counterpart who has agreed to stay behind in the matrix. That's the masculine counterpart. They agreed to let the feminine move ahead while they stayed behind in the matrix. Now, if you feel like your counterpart is behind, they're stuck in a karmic relationship, any of those things, guys, the healing work that needs to be done is within you. And that's why Holly and I are offering these sessions. The healing work is not to be done on your counterpart. It's not, your counterpart heals when you heal. All you have to do is focus on yourself. And I cannot stress that enough. I cannot drill that in enough. This comes from experience. Polly and myself are both twin souls. This comes from the experience of understanding this journey on a much deeper level. It's a broader perspective. You have to step away from the 3D. The 3D will not make sense on this journey. Another thing is, it's very important right now to keep your connection under wraps, not to be divulging it to people that do not understand the connection, because you're allowing interference and outside energies to come into the connection, and that's going to cause more disruptions, more delays, and just more obstructions to union into your journey, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the cards here. And I do want to call in Archangel Michael to bless the cards. I do want to call in Archangel Raphael, just for some heart healing and romantic, relationship healing, partnership healing. I want to call in Archangel Jophiel as a reminder of the beauty that everyone is beautiful, everyone is loved, everyone is divine, everyone is worthy. Because a lot of the feminines, you guys, are really suffering right now and believing that you're beautiful. You can't really believe, you don't believe it. Someone could tell you and you're not believing that you're a true divine goddess. So I hope that this reading encourages you to step into your power more. And if you guys want extra guidance, you can hop on over to Patreon. I have 4 levels there, and you can support me in my work over there, as well as receive additional readings, additional videos, and additional written posts. Okay, I've posted a lot there recently, a lot. So you'll be able to check out that content, and you can decide which tier you would like to subscribe to. Okay, so let's go ahead. Energy. Okay. Divine masculines would like to go first. It's usually how it works here. So they're coming in here. They're pretty quiet, but they're coming in. Okay. So we have the 8 of Cups. They're walking away from something in their life. 9 of Swords. Yeah. It's not an easy time right now for the masculines, which is why a lot of them have gone quiet. You are their guiding light. You are their North Star there. So, it's funny because I was looking at necklaces the other day, actually today and last night, and one of the things I saw was the North Star. It's your guiding light. It's the muse energy. And for the masculine, it's the feminine that is the muse. It's the feminine that has captured his heart, his attention, his energy, his soul. Anything else is an illusion, okay? So if your masculine seems to be entertaining other people, other options, it's just an illusion, and or lessons are being learned on the way to you. Do not focus on those circumstances. Throw yourself, immerse yourself into your life, building up your life, your abundance, your career, your gifts, and everything will work out from there. I promise you. The 8 of Cups is an empowering card to me because it speaks of the divine masculine's understanding that they have the power and the freedom to walk away. Whereas before they might have felt like in that 8 of Swords energy, like they were caught in their own head or their own minds, okay, playing mind games with themselves. It's interesting to see this is like a full moon eclipse here, but it's interesting to see the full moon. Something is definitely being eclipsed out of their life, but something is going to happen with this full moon in Pisces that's going to activate them. It's really going to point them in the direction of their true north, their North Star, okay? And you are the true north. That's why it's important that you focus on yourself, because then they will focus on you. If you're focusing on them, they're going to focus on other people, okay? Now, the 9 of Swords speaks of a need for deep rest and renewal. I mean, really at the cellular level, at the deepest baseline level that you could possibly conceivably, heal at. The Knight of Swords can speak of deep depression or anxiety, insomnia, just kind of wanting to sleep it off, not wanting to necessarily face the day, or not wanting to face yourself or face even the pain that you've created, okay, for yourself. The masculines are past the point of feeling sorry for themselves. So if you've spoken your truth recently to your masculine, guys, and I talk all about this over on Patreon in my recent posts, there's a letter from the masculine, there's a video, there's posts about what's going on and why the feminine has walked away. And you guys know what I mean by walked away. This is not about abandoning your counterpart. This is not 3D, that's codependent. This is about walking away to respect yourself, stepping into self-love, stepping into your power. You cannot do that if you're stuck in a situation that's not moving forward, that's not going anywhere, and that's not serving your highest good. So you have to walk away from things, and that includes your counterpart at times on this journey for some of you. So the masculines, they're not feeling sorry for themselves anymore. They heard you, okay? They heard what you said. They took it to heart. And they are now in a place or a state of mind where they are they're integrating a lot of the lessons learned, okay? They're integrating a lot of the lessons learned, and they're being enlightened. They're definitely sitting back, and they're a little bit still at this time, which is surprising for the masculine energy because they're usually on the go. So they're kind of just focused on the present moment or the task at hand. They're not thinking too far ahead right now, but they've slowed down quite a bit. And I think that's in preparation for this full moon. So I'm curious to see what energy the masculines are in here. So we're going to look into the energy here, just the cosmic energy cards, to see, can we find out what energy the masculines are in at this time? What energy are the masculines in at this time? Definitely in a contemplative mode as we approach this Pisces full moon, while the feminines are really struggling with self-worth at this time. A lot of you are feeling hopeless, okay? That's kind of permeating the collective right now. Yeah, it's funny. I saw this card as I was shuffling. This is the same energy of the Eight of Cups, okay? It's letting go of something. It's walking away from something that maybe once you were very attached to, you know, because the Eight of Cups, it's energy of, it's your emotions, it's your feelings. So this is about, you know, walking away from old stories and old paths. And there's a sense of disappointment that things didn't work out. So this could be the masculine walking away from yet another karmic situation. And remember, feminine, like the times where before you realized who you were, before you realized you were a twin, or even before you met your twin in the flesh, you probably had tons of, not probably, you had tons of karmic relationships and situations and connections and partnerships. And in those partnerships, you were always searching for something and you could never find it. And you were searching for yourself. You can't find that reflection of yourself in a karmic. You can only find that reflection of yourself in your twin soul. So they're searching for you in other people because you represent you're the embodiment of the goddess. You're the embodiment of the muse. You're the embodiment of the queen. And they know that they cannot stoop to these lower levels. Their actions, you know, that they take when they're with the karmic partners, they can get away with a lot more. But when they're with you, they're going to be forced to level up in every way. So they also, you know, it can be very intense, and this connection can go very fast. I mean, guys, for a lot of you, the next time you see your counterpart in the flesh, like the next 2 or 3 times, it's going to be a lead up to a much deeper commitment on your masculine's part. Okay. So it's serious business for a lot of you first wavers. A lot of you, and you know if you're a first wave, I think a lot of people watching my channel are second or third waves, but there are definitely some first wavers out there. We are more rare, the first wavers. We are also the ones, we are treading the water, we are seeding the light, and it is an excruciatingly painful journey to be a first waver, because we're setting the stage for all other waves, so that second, third, fourth, etc. waves are going to come into union A much faster and B with much more ease. So if you've signed up in this lifetime to be a first wave twin flame, you may come into union, you're likely an older soul, you may come into union a little later, but you are a leader, okay? You're a fearless leader for the collective. So you guys know who you are. You will feel this. Your masculine's walking away from things that don't serve them, and they're making space for you. But they have to let go of these old stories and this illusion that something outside of them is going to fix them or heal them. Okay, so this is kind of uncomfortable energy still for the masculine. So since we have these cosmic reading cards here, let's get in touch with the feminine. Choices. Yeah, and I feel that, feminine, for you right now, that you have a lot of choices, okay? You could be choosing to walk away. You could be choosing to move. Although housing prices and rent prices right now are up by like 25% everywhere, at least in the US and probably worldwide. So not necessarily the best time to be moving houses. I would recommend waiting until January. Things are going to be shifting a lot. That's all I'm going to say about that. Those of you in the know. And maybe I'll talk more about that on Patreon. So look out for a post on that, because there's a lot to be said for that. There's a lot of things going, a lot of collapsing of the of the toxic masculine structure, power, greed, etc. Greed. It's really greedy. That's what I feel going on right now with the housing market. A lot of greed, asking for way too much money for things that are, way above the selling point, way above the rental price. Okay, it's greed. It's going to fall apart. It's not going to last. So if you can hold off, guys, hold off on moving, hold off on buying a house. Honestly, for buying, I recommend waiting a couple years, like 2 to 3 years. But so yeah, the feminine has choices here. Okay, and the feminine knows that, and this is empowering feminine, because you may have felt caged in before. You may have felt like you didn't have choices, but now you feel like you do. Okay, you feel like, I no longer have to box myself in to make other people happy. I no longer have to act or feel a certain way or pretend to be somebody or something I'm not in order to appease other people. I don't have to play small. I can shine my light. I can radiate this outwards. And this is just so empowering. So those of you who are feeling really low, I really think it's the Pisces full moon. Depending on where you have Pisces in your chart, this could be really invigorating. It could also, it could be sitting in your 12th house of endings, and that could be karmic completion for you. It could be sitting in your 7th house of partnerships, and that could be really beautiful, but it could also be challenging for you, because full moons are closing out cycles. So it really depends on where this full moon sits for you, but you have to ask yourself, what experiences are going to grow my soul the most and the best right now? And if that's not being with your masculine in the flesh and at this particular juncture in time temporarily, then maybe it's best to walk away. Live your life. This journey is about so much more than just the physical union. Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful union. It's what we desire, okay, on a soul level. We came here to unite, to reunite and to unite. But there are also so many beautiful souls to meet, so many amazing, incredible, powerful experiences to have. Do not hold off on living your life. Do not allow yourself to sit in that energy of depression and anxiety because you are not physically with your counterpart. Do not allow your counterpart's actions, or rather lack thereof, to define you or to define your worth, feminine. You're more powerful than you've ever realized. You're courageous. You know how to listen to your heart, so do that now. There's a lot of options right now, feminine, but your soul is choosing to have choices, really, so that you don't feel stagnant and stuck anymore. And it's going to assist your masculine also getting out of any stagnancy that he's been in, because masculines are still they're still wrapping up karmic cycles, guys, from the last few years. Okay, so now we have the tarot cards for the feminine. What do we have here? Ace of Swords. I love this depiction of the Ace of Swords. You have this woman with rainbow colored hair, and it reminds me of that song. Oh gosh, what is that song? Going to California with an aching in my heart. Children of the sun begin to wake. I can't think of that. It's Led Zeppelin. Going to California. it reminds me of that song because she's got this hippie energy about her. She's got this energy. She's a rainbow child, okay? She sees the truth. She's speaking her truth. She's got wisdom. She's got the ancient pyramids here of Egypt. She's got the triangle, sacred geometry, and the energy of the triangle, the energy of the summit, the apex, right, of the journey, which is where you're reaching right now, feminine, and the energy of the owl, the white owl, wisdom, protection, guidance, the seer energy. This is a woman who's carefree and doesn't care what other people think. She doesn't give a fuck. She does not need to pay attention to what everyone else is doing, okay? She's had revelation. She's a visionary, and she has her own thoughts and her own ideas. She'll have her own path. Feminine, this is like you. There's just so much that's opening up to you right now that I think some of you are overwhelmed by it, and others of you can't believe that things could be this good. So you may push the abundance away, or you may push the soulmate away. You may push the new friends away. You may push the opportunities away. Be mindful. This is a warning. You know, this is like a warning to say, if these things are coming up for you as you close out the doors of this Pisces full moon and you step into brand new energy and paths, be mindful of what you're saying no to. We also have the Magician and the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, it can sometimes be like a hoarding energy, but these cards are so beautiful. I can't even tap into that hoarding energy with this particular deck. This is the energy of providing for yourself, and it's like the stability of the root chakra healing, right? A healed root chakra, not that wounded root chakra where you feel like you have to rely on somebody else. You know that you can make it. You know that you're going to make ends meet, and you know that everything's going to work out for you. You know that you're the magician, okay? You have the choices. You have choices to make, feminine. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle in any aspect of your life, including for a version of your counterpart, your connection, your masculine, yourself that you do not desire. You are an absolute creator in this life, okay? So a lot of your gifts are going to be coming out at this time. If you're watching this and you're like, I don't believe, this sounds good, Sarah, but I don't believe any of this. You're probably stuck in a negative cycle, and you just need to gain a perspective. Do something different today, tomorrow, the next day that's going to shift your perspective, okay? Go outside, dance in the rain, take a different route to work, try a new food, get a book, start reading a new book. Do something that you normally wouldn't do to break you out of the old habits and the old routine, because we've got to get through this stagnant energy has got to be worked through. Because a lot of feminines, I feel it, guys, usually it's the masculine energy. The masculines are pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, they're struggling, but it's a quiet struggle. The feminines are the ones who are really pulling at me right now. So, okay. Let's tap into this energy here for the masculines. Masculines. So, you know what, masculines? You've got whale song resonating. Whales are the record keepers of time, ancient beings, much like the elephants. They're like, elephants and whales are the ancient timekeepers, the ancient keepers of the earth. Whales and dolphins, both, the cetaceans, they have the ability to sing a song and to communicate to one another in decibels that either we can't hear. It's that sonar frequency that we can't hear or we can't detect. So we have to have special tools to be able to do that. The masculines, I feel, are singing their song to each other from around the world right now. And I've been feeling this for a while, but to actually see this card come out, because it has not come out since I've had this deck now for a couple months or weeks or however long it's been, to see this come out is like, holy shit. There's a remembering going on. Something is starting to resonate. They're remembering who they are. Guys, a whale is a powerful medicine for the masculine energy, the collective to receive at this time. They're having like deja vu moments where they're going back and they're like, I've been here before. I've known her before. They're remembering past lifetimes. They're realizing that everything you've said this entire time was not crazy and it was not unfounded. There's a big opportunity for transformation right now with the Divine Masculine Collective. But they're going to have to take the leap, and they're going to have to trust their heart. Feminine, I think the more you can just stay in your lane right now, the faster the masculine is going to transform. Some of you need to cut off your masculine. I'm going to say that. Okay? Sarah, that's mean, that's rude, I don't want to hurt his feelings. Stop. They are you and you are them. If they are acting out of integrity, you need to cut them off. If they are acting in a way that is not respectful, you need to cut them off. If they have a karmic partner and nothing is shifting, you need to cut them off. You're not doing yourself or them a service by staying connected. You're repeating old cycles. That cycle can't break until you step away. Okay? If there's a karmic in the picture, you cannot come into union. You will be perpetually stuck in that cycle. You have to let go of the fear of losing your counterpart if you actually want union. It takes courage. Feminines, you're in this place of really asking for and wanting more clarity. You're trying to organize, like, I feel this like tidying up your mental space, organizing your mind, just because so much has transpired in recent months for you. There's been, you kind of haven't had the chance to slow down. It's just been go, go, go. And like mentally and probably physically too. And for a lot of you, just moving forward in the things that maybe you never thought would move forward in your life. Like the abundance is flowing in, the clarity, the friends, the life that you always envisioned is starting to form. That's why I'm saying, if you need to step back from your masculine, do so that you can focus on your life. Okay? Doesn't mean you have to cut them off totally. Some of you probably should. But what it does mean is you need your primary focus to be on you. You. Not on what they're doing, not on who they're with, not on when they're going to come correct. Just stop and focus on yourself. Like, this needs to be said because there's still codependency in the collective. And as a leader and as a guide, I have to put this out there because it's weighing everyone down. We've all been there. We're all healing, okay? We've all healed or are healing from codependency. We've all had those patterns. That's part of the feminine sort of energy signature. We're healing that. Just like the masculine has healed certain things like greed and envy and lust. You've got to drop the codependency. I feel like you need to people please, to worry about hurting their feelings. They can handle it. They're big boys and big girls. They can handle it. Let them figure it out on their own. You're not Florence Nightingale and you don't need to rescue all the wounded birds, okay? You've got to focus on yourself because what's happening is the more you focus on them, the more you're disowning yourself. Okay, this is actually causing disruption and chaos within you because you're focusing outside of yourself. And what I see a lot is that people they don't want to hear what they need to do to focus on themselves. They just, but what is he doing? But how can I make it to union? You can't make it to union until you focus on yourself, until you feel whole within, until you achieve inner union. You can come in and out. You could have those reunions. You'll be triggered, you'll separate, but you're not going to have permanent physical union until you know how to focus on yourself, till you know how to be alone, until you don't get triggered anymore by what your masculine does or doesn't do or says or doesn't say. The moment you don't get triggered is the moment everything shifts. Okay? But you have to be in a place of stability within yourself in order for that to happen, feminine. So this is, I'm telling you this, like putting your masculine first and putting their feelings first and putting like physical union before everything else, before your growth. It's not the purpose of this journey. There's a need for you to accept and love yourself, and you've got to back off from needing the masculine to do this for you. What does the feminine most need to hear right now? I know this is tough love, guys. Okay, there's just messages that need to come through that I feel like the feminine energy isn't hearing or doesn't want to hear it, and that gets triggered. But that's a job of a good reader and a good guide right now. If you're going to trigger people, okay? Divine Matrix. A lot of feminines, you're very caught up in the matrix, and it's like you're so caught up in the matrix that you can't see that it's not real. Okay? There's still some of you that are stuck on separation. So what you can do to bring yourself out of this energy, if it feels yucky right now, or you feel very codependent or clingy, is going to be to trust the way things are going to unfold, to trust the divine, trust God, trust that the universe has your back, and that you can't control it. Okay, to stop trying to control when and how, and just focus on your why, focus on your purpose, focus on the connections and the experiences that bring you joy right now. Focus on the things that add to your life right now. So yeah, it's just really important right now, feminine, to understand that you're not separate from your desires and what you want to see manifested. You're not separate. So if you, like, there's this, they don't teach us our worth. They don't teach us our value in school. They don't teach us any of these things. So you think you're not worthy. You think you're inherently unworthy. And then we have to unravel through all of that and realize and learn through the spiritual growing process that we are worthy. Excuse me. That we're inherently worthy. You are inherently worthy, feminine. So who or what was it that told you that you weren't? Masculines, focus on gratitude. That's something you can do to shift out of that 9 of Swords, 8 of Cups energy. Focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on the things that bring you joy. So you're both really being asked to focus on the good. I'm going to end the reading there, guys. I know this was a tough love reading, but it needed to be communicated. And I'm not here to people please. Okay, I live that life. I'm here to help shift the collective. I'm here to help bring awareness, to see the light. And part of me shining my light is unapologetically speaking my truth. And so whoever needed to hear this, I hope that it resonated. I hope that you are willing to, maybe let it trigger you, let the ego go a little crazy, and then let it shift you. Okay, send you guys so much love and light. Take good care of yourselves, and remember that you are a divine being. You are worthy of love, worthy of joy, worthy of freedom.